Hello and welcome back. Thanks again for joining us for another lesson. In this lesson we're going to be showing you a super cool way to take your tapping to the next level. We'll be doing a 3 and 4 finger pattern with the left hand, and we'll be tapping T2 and T3 with the right hand. Make sure you're warmed up because this one is a ripper. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to be using the Phrygian dominant mode to make a tapping sequence. Phrygian dominant is of course mode number 5 of the harmonic minor scale. If you don't know the harmonic minor modes, head over to our website. We've got a couple of cool lessons there that goes through the harmonic minor modes. That should help clear things up. We're going to be making a sequence using the first 2 strings of the Phrygian dominant mode, and all we're going to do is just run these through octaves until we get to the high E string. So we're going to have 2 different patterns with 2 different tapping sequences. The first sequence uses 3 fingers on the left hand, and it's simply the first 3 notes of the Phrygian dominant mode, and it goes like this. And then the second sequence is a 4 finger pattern, and it's using the next 4 notes of the Phrygian dominant mode, and goes like this. And then all we're going to do is just move that through octaves. So if I show you those 2 shapes first, and then we'll add in the taps momentarily. So the real difficult thing about this type of lick is the fact that it changes between 3 and 4 notes per string. This is especially difficult at speed. So what I would do to get comfortable with this type of idea would be to just play the left hand part of the lick, completely legato, no tapping with the right hand whatsoever. This will just get you comfortable with at least the left hand position before you start adding in the taps. So you could do something like this in order to get comfortable with the lick. So now we know the 2 left-hand shapes, we can now start adding in the taps with the right hand and start getting to understand the sequence. So what we're going to do is we're going to be tapping 2 additional notes on the low E string, and then when we get to the 4 finger pattern we're also going to be tapping an additional 2 notes on the A string. And again we'll be moving that pattern just through the octaves to create the entire tapping lick. Now here's where we create a sequence. It's not just straight up and down, so what we've got is a little sequence that goes like this for the 3 finger pattern. So we've got a single tap, a descend, and then on the ascend we've got 2 taps. And we're going to do the exact same concept with the 4 finger pattern as well. So that's the full sequence. So in each octave that we do that will be the sequence. Now a good way to practice these and get these clean is to actually just practice them on each octave. So you can make an exercise out of it and you could do something like this. And then you can jump that up an octave and practice it in that position. And again, you can jump it up another octave and practice it in that position. now, our 6-finger shape will use the exact same idea. It's a single tap on the first ascend and then a double tap on the second ascend. So the full 6-finger tapping sequence now goes like this. Now take your time with this one. It's a 4-finger pattern with the left hand, so it's substantially harder than the 5-finger pattern. Again, it's worth making an exercise out of this and just doing these in each position and getting comfortable with the octaves. So again, I would do something like this to make sure I was comfortable with each position. And then I jump into the next octave and do it again in that position to make sure that I'm comfortable with it in that position. And again, put it up onto the high E string and do it again in that octave as well. And if you're still with us after all of that, we're into the final part of the lick here. And as Paul Gilbert once said,
you have to find an escape from your lick eventually.
So this is our escape lick. After we come off of the final 6-finger tapping pattern on the high E string, we're going to come down a single fret and descend a B major arpeggio, still with the T2 and T3 tap on the high E string. Something like this. Now again, what I would do to get comfortable with this would be to just practice transitioning between the 6-finger tapping and the descending B major arpeggio. So again, you can make a little exercise out of this as well and do something like this. So to finish our lick off, we're going to ascend that same B major arpeggio, but we're going to ascend to fret 11 only. We're not going to hammer the 14. So instead, we're going to do some dissonant double stop bends. We're going to use fret 11 on the E string and fret 12 on the B string. And we're going to sweep into them, something like this. And when you bend those, you really want to shake them and bend them and really make them squeal. It's really in keeping with the sound of Phrygian dominant. And then we're just going to do a little lick using the B string just to finish it off back to the root note, which is B. Something like this. When Joe and I were recording this song, as you can probably imagine, we had lots of takes for the solo. But on one of the takes, completely off the cuff and on the fly, I decided to do this. And all I did there was just slide up the neck and just slide into the octave on the same string and just bend up to the note on 24. And just doing things off the cuff and on the fly like that can really yield some good results. Sometimes just going where the music takes you or anticipating the feel of your music can really add a new dimension to your solo, so do experiment. I'd just like to say a massive thank you for checking out this lesson. We really appreciate all the support that we get, all the views, comments, likes. Really means a lot to us. Our website is constantly growing, stringsofrage.com, so thank you again to anyone checking out our lessons online. We also run a membership called the Strings of Rage Syndicate, so please head over to our Patreon page and check it out. We've got some cool stuff on there, lots of unlockable downloads, behind the scenes and other cool things, so please check it out. All your memberships are helping us to develop a really cool online learning experience. So thanks again for your support, and see ya.